So at the end of the day, we did put in a reconsideration into the California case, as you know. My prior video, I talked about the different things that was going on. You can go back and look at it. Actually, one of them went viral. And I guess the reason why is because at the time that I did it, I knew what I knew. Now, just to make it clear, just make it clear, everybody, I'm not an attorney. We do have some legal clinics we work with to help us help ourselves do this, that, and the other. There's things as both that was in our local church, not my local church, but some local churches, so forth and so on. So sometimes the paralegals and the people that are working may get things confused. I get stuff confused and not sure about what happened. We have several cases. So just to be clear, the cases that or the case that we have a problem with or the allegations that we have, it falls on three different groups of people, not just one. It falls on the judges, which is now in the Third Circuit in an appeal, because the judges are the ones who sign the orders. Then it's with the attorneys, which we've done over the years, conduct, so forth and so on. And today, actually, we did a motion for sanctions against the attorneys because we asked them through a safe harbor letter to withdraw the filings that they did back in August because they knew those filings and everything about it was all engraved in allegations of fraud. And we already talked about the fraud over and over again, what was done and why. Nonetheless, so you have the judges that's currently in Third Circuit appeal. So some of the allegations that the defendant has or want to say or whatever you want to try to do, those things are still tied up with the Third Circuit appeal of the judges. Judges, attorneys, and then client. So there's three sets of types of litigations, if you will, litigations and or circumstances that come about with this case. And there's a lot of stuff going on with the court, the different courts. Now, because there was a property involved, the lien, so forth and so on, that brought in another set of people. Not going to go through that now, but I just want you to know that sometimes stuff get a little confused. So, and one of the things that we thought we saw, and I still don't know if I'm 100%, but we were thinking we saw when we were relaying to California case, we thought that we had saw an email regarding to not give the documents to or to withdraw some documents. I'm not going to go into all the details right now because there was a little confusion with it, but I just want to clarify that sometimes when things are done, it's not totally clear. So in other words, if we get an email from an attorney, we might think it's from one attorney, but it's from another attorney, and you're thinking what you're thinking. So things can get confusing. So the way we talk on the blog, just to be sure you can know, is not really etched 100% because some things we're not clear on, as obviously. Now we try to do the same thing, but better on paper. So when we do something with the court and paper and affidavits, that's totally different. And that is supposed to be a higher bar, which it is. So therefore, we have to do a little bit more, making sure everything is correct. So what I'm saying is sometimes things get mixed up and confused and wrong, right? Not totally wrong, but partially. And sometimes people want to run off with it. It's really not that deep. This is a blog. You know, this is for entertainment purposes. We're trying to keep you up to date on what's going on, but there can be some holes there and things that still are confusing, especially when something just occurred and it's not really clear about what really happened. Okay. So I just want to make that clear because I know when people say, well, you said this and you said that, I probably did say it, but I know how to fix what I say or try to explain what I'm saying so that it's in the right content. Because sometimes when I get the information, I might be a little askew too. And we do have people helping us. We have people reviewing emails, reviewing stuff, and it's a complete thing going on. And so we can have different people. Nonetheless, don't want to go off on that rap, babe. There is a reconsideration that's on the table asking the judge in California to take the second look. And we basically asked that because of there were some documents that were not given to her. And we are not going to go through the reasons why right now because we already kind of talked about it. And the so forth and so on is not that big of a deal, except for the fact relies on the fact that we want to make sure the record is proper. That's the bottom line. And we know there is some restrictions with all different types of laws and things that happen, so forth and so on. But the biggest thing is we thought that something was overlooked. So we're hoping that the judge will be able to get the full picture. So that's her. So we got the clarity on that. And then I know we're going to close out with this basically the whole thing about some of the things, especially with the New Jersey court operating with clear, no jurisdiction. Once you say you have no jurisdiction to hear a matter and so forth and so on, then after that, you keep hearing a matter and taking it from a person who's not even considered to be a party, if you will. They're a party, but they're not. They have no standing. That could be a problem. So there's a clear absence of jurisdiction, what we believe, with the Third Circuit appeal of the judges and some of the parties. So that's like the biggest thing. In addition to the fact that there's fraud upon the court that we believe, there's other things that happen. But I want to make it very clear that people are not a part of a case just to be a part of a case. Something happened in their lives that might have hurt them, that might have injured them, that might have harmed them. We've been through all of it. So I'm walking this walk, one, because God told me to do it. God told me after my goddaughter, Wanda Satterwhite, kind of asked me to help her, and she prayed, and then I prayed, and God showed me He wanted me to do it. It was a call, and it was beyond me and my godson, just to make it clear. So we're trying to make sure the rule of law and what's supposed to happen in the case is supposed to happen. And then, of course, the things I saw, being a person who works in the community, come from a community type family, a political family, a family who's rooted in certain things, a family where a mom taught us some things that we understand to be right according to the rule of law. When you see something different, that bothers you. So you want to do something about it to not let that keep going. And then me and my godson and goddaughter became what I believe a victim of the system. We did. And we've already talked about the many things that happened. Because even though we're dealing with the fraud from the beginning, from 2012, and now we got some more stuff in 2025. And then there's things that happened in 2022 that was horrible. But there's so much more ugly things that happened between 2013 and 2022 that we haven't even talked about. But it's been some really bad things, y'all. And some of these things I saw in the court will make you vomit. So at the end of the day, we are trying, and I'm trying to bring about a change in the judicial system, in the court system, particularly in this arena, because there's a lot of African American people that live in the Camden County court system area, and they need justice. They need somebody to be in that seat who loves them, cares about the community, and want to do what's right, for real. And the person that was there before, in regard to the family, he ran into some struggles, and he caved, I believe, to the system and started doing things that were not right, because he asked me for money. He did, and it's on record. So I don't never want to see a family court as a kangaroo court, but that's what it seems like it is. But anywho, I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on, to be informed, to be educated, and to understand this is not a dog and pony show. This is the real deal for people's lives who we're trying to live. And when you went after my property, when you did what you did by putting in an illegal lien, it wasn't even a real lien. It seems like the court never attached it to the property, so they say. But it was inside of a system where the escrow company saw it, and they had to oblige to it, and it caused confusion. But it was all based on fraud from the beginning, in addition to the fact that the court didn't have jurisdiction and somebody wanted what it appeared to be his money. We can't have this, everybody. So this is good trouble in some regards, but I'm a good victim, but not I'm a victor, right? So at the end of the day, be encouraged, walk by faith and not by sight. Know that God is able. God gave us the call. We will finish the call. Some was called, some was sent, and some just went. We're called to do what we're doing. And we thank God for all of you who have been supporting and helping us. And if you want to help us out, please be a part of the team. We got to vet you because there's a lot of folk coming that's not a part of the team. They've been sent by somebody else. But we want what's right. We want to do what's right. We ain't trying to hurt nobody. This is not what this is about. If somebody would have tried to sit down with us and talk with us and do what's right, other than the ones who already tried to hurt us, some of these attorneys, and they failed. They failed. They tried to hurt us, and they did hurt us, but they failed in what they were trying to do because the law wasn't on their side. That's why we're still here. So at the end of the day, God called us. God called me. God called Rymir to carry out this work, and that's what we're going to do. So thank God for that, knowing that we know who we're serving, right? Not serving money, not serving power, not serving greed, but we want to serve the community and let people feel like they can live to live again. And they don't have to be downtrodden and distressed about their circumstances and situations. So yeah. And then I think today we did send in a motion for, I think, the safe harbor stuff I said earlier. If not, I'll talk about that next time. You know, I don't like doing long videos, but I want to get this into you guys so y'all can know what you need to know. So thank you all so much. This is Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil. Look forward to talking with you soon. Be empowered. Be empowered and be encouraged. Thank you all.